Hey everybody, I'm Katie.
I'm Becky, and this is Live, Laugh, Lorcana.
Becky, how are you doing today?
Fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Have you had any more excursions to get product since our ordeal last week?
No, I gave up. Leaving my house at least. Strangely, Cody today on TCG Player got a gift set for MSRP,
Oh, weird.
which makes no sense. He's like, I don't know if it was a mistake or I was at the right place, the right time. Seems sketchy. We'll see how that pans out.
Was it from a trusted seller?
I have no idea. I did not ask further.
All right, well, we'll find out what happens.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
I gave up, but Josh has not. My husband keeps going out for product. He went to all the GameStops at lunch today, so.
Did he get anything?
No, they said that only two GameStops in our district got a product and that they were sold out. So
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
it is. All Anywhere seems to have is gift sets, though.
There's a lot of gift sets. I don't know if people are just like not interested in them or they like way overproduced them.
Yeah. We've opened like five already. It's like I don't need this many like oversized foil Mulans, much as I love her.
Yeah.
Becky, you actually went to League this week.
Actually, there's been three and I've missed one. I don't know what this tone is coming from.
Becky, you went to League like you usually do this week.
Sure did.
How was it?
It was good. I had fun. I, again, did not stay for multiplayer. I played my 3 games. I got the packs that I am permitted to purchase, and that was good.
And did you get anything good in your packs?
Got a couple super rares, so I feel pretty good about that. Yes.
Yeah, I got Big Tank.
Big tank.
I love the art on that card too. She's like all mad at the boat.
It's really cute. I don't see me ever running steel though, so
Oh, well.
probably never get to use her myself, but very cool. But so here's what happened. There was a new guy. He's never played before. And the league organizer was like, "Hey, everybody got decks?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't have a deck." And he's like, "Well, come up and get a deck." And for whatever reason, I started a round of applause for that. I don't know why, but I did. And a surprisingly large amount of people joined in.
I was going to say, I was disappointed how many people didn't join in. I instantly was like, yes. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. And maybe a half dozen other people joined in.
Yeah, I don't know why. When people clap, just clap. Like, you don't have to,
Why would you not clap? We had 31 people at this league, by the way. That was amazing.
Yes. Oh, I counted the women.
Oh, how many?
Guess.
12.
Very close. 10.
Okay.
Actually, maybe there were 12. I don't remember.
I didn't count. I was guessing because I knew it was less than half, but I didn't think it was a lot less than half. But 10's like a third. That's still pretty good.
Yeah, that was fine. But I ended up playing new guy in the first round, and we became best friends.
I noticed that. You guys are very chummy.
It was a nice game. Well, he like knew the rules, but he had never played before, and so he like asked some questions on like some help and stuff. But yeah, we had fun. He was a Pokemon guy in a past life, and starting up Lorcana, he had a good time. He enjoyed it.
In a past life, like it had been a while since playing Pokemon.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I won that game. Well, we also finished extremely early. And then we just talked for a while, so that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played 2 more games and I lost both of them. One was just a bad draw, bad draw time,
Yeah.
You're just not getting anything useful. And then the second game I lost was because I got too wrapped up in what I was doing and forgot to look at his side of the board.
Was he like at 20 lore?
He was at 15 and I was out here, like, ooh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to quest and not challenge. And then he's like, okay, well, it's like, dang it.
I get it. Like too excited by what you're about to do, blinders.
I got Rockstar Stitch out and I wanted him to do the things. I wanted him to make some magic and he could not.
We have all had our Rockstar Stitch blinders on before. I get it. In one of my matches, I almost lost because I had Rockstar Stitch out, and you want to do the thing where you're like, little character, draw a card, little character, draw a card. And I did that like a bunch of times to get all my cards. And then it's like, I look over and it's like, oh yeah, he has Aladdin Heroic Outlaw out and a Shield of Virtue. So 8 lore swing because I got too excited about Rockstar Stitch.
That's fair. He's just great.
But you had fun at League?
I did. Yeah, League was fun. Can I say a couple things off the record?
You may. Can I maybe convince you after to put them on the record? But go on.
You won't want to, but if you do. Gets a little stinky in there. I gotta be honest.
This should be on the record.
Okay. I mean, like, I knew that was a stereotype, but I was like hoping it wasn't, and then it was.
Yeah, I hadn't experienced that any other time there at that store for Lorcana, but I did. There was definitely experienced it that particular day in one of my matches. Yeah, I don't know what you do about that.
I don't think there's anything you can do about that.
I don't think there is anything either.
Although, our friend always wears a face mask for safety, and I feel like maybe I should bring the face mask back.
That's a good idea. We have one game store that we go to that has like a sign about like personal hygiene in it.
That's wild.
Actually, at Flesh and Blood events, I feel like there have actually been like event guidelines like advising hygiene. So I don't know.
This is so confusing to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's controversial to advocate for personal hygiene. I mean, you do you, honestly, but
I think that, well, that's like you said, your store says that thing. And like, I used to go to anime conventions and it was like the same gig. And the people who need to be told that don't think that they're the problem, I think is the issue.
That's fair.
It will never reach the people who need to hear it. So there's truly nothing we can do. Except
like talk about it, laugh about it on a podcast. That's as far as we can. We've done all we can do.
That's it. That's all we got.
Can I talk about my League experience in general?
For sure.
So we do 3 rounds of 1v1. Do you know what I played against every single round?
Hold on, let me think, because I sat next to you during one of your matches. It was a purple-red.
Ruby Amethyst Control. That cute little deck we said last week was the best deck, or people were saying was the best deck because it did so well at that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I played 3 people on that deck. And that's like really significant to me for several reasons. The first one being like, that means people at our local league are paying attention to the competitive meta and what's going on, which I was not expecting.
Especially that many.
Yeah.
I will say I did not play against that deck. I played other things. Just saying, like, you know. So there's at least 3. I can't confirm more.
Yeah, totally. Like, it was not like everyone in the room was on the deck, but like enough people were on it that every round I played someone on it. And then it's especially weird because some of the cards in that deck are very expensive. We got Elsa's in that deck. We got like the Be Prepared isn't cheap. Like, we got Ursula's and Maleficent's. Like, these are expensive legendaries. So, and like they're priced so high right now. So people are shelling out money for those cards, which is also crazy.
Definitely this early, that feels pretty crazy to me.
Yeah. And then these are control decks. So they're decks that aren't typically super fun to play against because the whole idea is like they don't let you do what you want to do. So it just really surprised me to see so many at League.
Definitely. I wonder where they're getting their cards. Do you think they're buying them piecemeal?
I asked one guy about it, and yeah, he had bought most of them on TCG Player. And he's like, I paid more than I wanted to. And like one of them is our friend Sean, he's happy to pay money for cards. I think a lot of people are just buying them singles. And you know what's really funny about that is that That's not even considered best deck anymore. I don't know if you've heard. Now everyone's saying that Amber Steel is the best deck because that's what won PPG Denver in the finals against a Ruby Amethyst deck. And I think it has some of the top stats on Pixelborn right now. So
Oh, nice. That's cool.
that's how fast things change. Like every week.
Um, you obviously follow the meta,
Yeah.
or like you know what the meta is. Um, do you make an effort to make these decks? Are these like your top picks, or do you try to do your own thing?
Yeah, so it's hard because with a podcast especially, I haven't gotten as much time to actually like play this game as I have other games. But like the way I did in Flesh and Blood is I was kind of very aware of what the top 5 decks were. And then from the top 5, I would kind of pick the one I personally thought was the most fun.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I see kind of me always going character driven. I can't help it. That's just how I am. I'm always kind of like I want to do theme decks. I don't necessarily want to go with what's, everybody's doing. Even though it's good and I would win more. It's like, no, I want my buddies.
I think like deck building is really fun to be character. Like I really like the idea of like, oh, I'm going to build a deck around this character, which I did with Mulan, and then I played it and I'm like, this is trash, but it sure was fun to build. There was that a girl in our Discord was like mentioning all these really fun rules that you could enforce at the kitchen table. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I remember that.
Oh, Mrs. Faye. Like when a character sings a song they sang in a movie, like gain an extra lore. And when you have like 3 dried characters from a single movie in play, gain a lore. Like like all these like little fun things you could do, like character and movie related. I think that'd be
I
fun.
like that. Yeah, definitely. I like that idea of making your own little fun rules.
Mm-hmm. Trying to remember what we were talking about. Oh, metadex. Apparently, a lot of our league is going to follow metadex, though, which is surprising.
Can I be honest? A little disappointing. I like how much fun we were all having, just being stupid.
Yeah, I know. We'll see how close they follow it. See how many steel amber decks we see this week.
Next week. Yeah.
Do you have any more stories from League?
Oh, one more. Did you see the adorable young lady who was there who was dressed up like Tinkerbell? She looked so cute with her little Tinkerbell dress. Oh,
I was like blown away because she had like the Tinkerbell ears as well. Like her nails were like she had like Mickey and Minnie on her nails, and like she had like all this glitter and everything, and a Tinkerbell backpack. I'm like, oh, loved it.
So cute.
And I talked to her like she had never played a TCG before.
Just a huge Disney fan.
Yeah, like never played a TCG, and now she's getting like fully decked out and prepared to go to a Lorcana event. Like it makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about is the fact that we taught our mom to play Lorcana.
We sure did.
How do you feel that went?
I thought it went really well. I thought she did really good.
It's like she wasn't related to us at all. She didn't yell at us one time.
We're going to see when we play dad and see what changes. I thought mom did really good. She went in with like a great attitude. Our mom is like very low confidence about trying new things and learning new things and stuff like that. So I was just really impressed and pleased with like how like happy and eager she was to get into it. And she did such a good job. And like after we kind of explained basic stuff, she picked up everything like faster than I did, honestly. Like I was really, really happy with how she did.
I was so impressed because yeah, I agree with you. I always like thought she would kind of be resistant to learning it, especially because it is kind of a more complicated game. But no, she was just asking questions and being like, "Do I do this?" And like, I thought it was so cute. She had like the Mickey Mouse True Friend, which is like the yellow Mickey Mouse, and like she didn't want to ink it because she thought it was so cute.
So cute.
I love that.
Yeah, I thought she did great. And then because we taught her a game and then Katie and I played and she just wanted to watch because Katie and I we had something to settle, you know? We had to settle our decks. And she asked questions while we were playing each other. And I just thought she was like really engaged and really cute. And I talked to her a couple of days ago. She's like, Becky, I'm nervous like about playing that game because I have trouble reading the cards. And I was like, do you wear reading glasses? And she's like, no. And I was like, maybe try those.
The font is very small. Like it's very small.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so during our game, because we played after, and I just have to call myself out for being like such a TCG butthead, because like what happened was you were playing the Ruby Emerald starter deck against Mom, and you were like, oh, I hate this deck. I hate this deck. So I did what all TCG buttheads do, and I was like, please let me try to beat you with that deck. Please let me try to beat you with that deck. It's like a disease. But we played and it was really fun.
It was really fun. And then you took my husband's deck, which is also Ruby Emerald, and versed me with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just beat you. Like it was very close.
You did. And like I'm like I being competitive I do think is a little fun because you were just like trying really hard to beat me and I just loved it. And you did. You beat me and it was awesome.
Honestly, I had to consult your husband on a couple things because I'm really bad with like, I don't know if I'll get better at this, but like thinking moves ahead. Like if I take out this now and like next turn, what will happen and like stuff like that. And Josh was helpful with that. And I thanked him and he's like, I will help you beat Katie anytime.
You will absolutely get better at it, but you're already so much better than when you started.
Very true. But also, I was really like competitive when I was playing against you, which I hadn't really been yet that competitive. And so I was just like, when I'm at League, I just need to pretend I'm playing against Katie.
Yeah. I bring out the desire to destroy in you. And I love it.
Yeah, that's good.
It was so crazy because us three ladies were sitting at the table playing games really intensely, and all the men were watching children.
Yeah, that was cute.
And then the one other thing I had down to talk about, we got some chapter 2 spoilers.
I saw a few.
So exciting.
Yeah, share them.
All right, so we know that we're getting a Pooh playmat, a Beast playmat, Mulan sleeves and deck box, Sisu sleeves and deck box, 2 new starter decks, with options to buy them together in one bundle and another option to buy both plus 24 packs, and then the return of troves. So that's what we know about chapter 2.
That sounds great. I definitely want the 2 in the packs. Packs.
Are you excited about any of the other things in particular? Like, I'm really excited for these Mulan sleeves and deck box.
I know you're a Mulan fan girl. No, I'm not particularly.
Actually, even the Pooh playmat.
It depends what it looks like.
You're just not excited?
No.
You don't care about any of this?
Oh, I mean, I care, of course, but I'm not like, OMG, they just dropped something I'm really interested in.
Yeah. The playmats, I'm like, I guarantee I will want both of the playmats because all the playmats so far have been so good. And the sleeves and deck boxes are actually kind of garbage, so I don't know why I'm excited for those.
Just to look.
Sisu, have you seen Raya the Last Dragon yet?
I have. Yeah, it's really good.
It's so good. I didn't see it till like last week.
I told you about it months ago.
Well, you didn't follow up.
I guess not. Well, I was like, Cody loved it. So I think Josh will love it. And I think you'll really like it.
It was so good. I was blown away by it.
Yeah, it's great. You don't hear much about it, but I guess I'm not really in the know with, Disney stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the kids are talking about really.
Yeah.
Maybe Raya's all the kids are talking about at recess. in elementary school, but I would not be aware.
Maybe. I haven't seen a lot of like Raya swag out in the wild though.
Yeah, I haven't much either.
It's not like Frozen, which was like, right? Frozen set a bar that I don't think any other movie will ever reach.
No, I don't think so. That was pretty wild.
All right. So today we're going to do some listener questions. We do have a listener questions channel in our Discord. So if you put anything in there, we'll answer it. Or if you don't want to join our Discord, literally just, message us anywhere and we will answer them. So the first question is from Mr. Chip. He cited a video from Stonewire Games that offers a really good suggestion for Lorcana to reduce the max deck size. It kind of seems like 60 cards, 4 copies per card was just taken from Magic. If we only had 3 copies, that would make it easier to find legendaries. And I think the reason he actually specifically sent this question to us is because we've heard a lot of people complaining about shuffling the 60 card decks. And if we're like talking about like little kids, you're imagining little kids like with a 60 card deck, that is not easy for them to shuffle. So what do you think about that, Becky?
I think that sounds nice. I mean, I know like pulling 60 cards from Magic, I'm sure they had like, more thought than that into it. I like the idea of a 40 card deck. I know there's mill decks flying around, but I feel like I rarely make any sort of significant chunk into my 60 card deck. And when you have like 4 copies of whatever, you still like never see them. And I don't have 4 copies of like anything good. So like I have my Rockstar Stitch floating around in there somewhere. I rarely see him. He's just in there somewhere. And so I think 40 would be super fun for casual play, definitely. And definitely for children for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally with you because I have that 1 blue legendary Hades in my deck and I never see that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not a game designer, so I can't really speak to why they chose a 60 card deck. I honestly think they probably had their reasons. When you go up to 60 cards, you do increase the variance, like what you can draw, the amount of options changes. So I guess like having 60 cards does make it more random, and maybe that's a better experience to have like a bigger variance game. I don't know. But like, as you just mentioned, the first thing people on our Discord said to that was like, what about mill decks? Like we have people going around with a whole new world trying to make you run out of cards. So have you played against a mill deck yet?
No. Have you?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, the mill is a term that comes from Magic, but it means that your opponent is trying to make you run out of cards because when you can't draw a card when you're supposed to, you lose the game.
We'll have to, our friend has one, so we'll have to verse against him, see how it feels to get milled.
You need that experience. I've definitely had it in Flesh and Blood, but not in this game.
Nice.
I do think if I was like playing at home with children, I would build probably 45 card decks with 3 copies for this reason. Like, A, you need less cards, and B, it's easier for them to shuffle.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
All right. Let's go on to another listener question. This is from T. Denstroyer. Is that how you say it? Do you know?
I don't know. I wasn't gonna say their names because I don't know how to pronounce them and I don't want to mess it up.
That's fair. I'm just gonna go for it. You can at me if I say your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so T. Denstroyer, butchering it, I'm sure. What card ability resonates most with its character or movie scene? Any deep cuts that you really enjoy? An example for me would be Mother Knows Best, returning a character to the player's hand, paralleling the movie where Rapunzel returns to the tower with Gothel as Mother Knows Best.
Beautiful. Do you want to answer this one first? Because I have a couple and I don't want to steal yours.
I was just going to say it's because you have like 10. So if I take your one.
No, I only have 3 and like 2 of them are very offhand.
All right. So this is like The movie to card translation that tickles me the most is actually around the movie Peter Pan. Is this on your list?
No, great, go.
Okay. So I really just love the idea like Peter Pan never landing in green like he is evasive because you know the pixie dust. And then Tinkerbell most helpful, also in green, has evasive. And when you play her, you can choose to give another character evasive. So it's like she's sprinkling her pixie dust on something. And I think that's adorable. And then Captain Hook, captain of the Jolly Roger, he's not evasive, so he can't challenge Peter Pan, but that card has like the special ability to recur fire the cannons, which is a direct damage that does 2 damage, and Peter Pan has 2 life. So it's just like the way those
Oh,
cards
wow.
like
That was like really good. That's way better than anything I have.
the way those cards work together, I think just matches the movies like so beautifully. I just love them.
That's really good. I don't even want to answer mine. Mine's not like deep.
It doesn't have to be deep.
Okay. Well, mine's not really gameplay. It's just like an interesting mechanic that like fits really well into a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
for it. Go for it. You said you
Okay.
had 3.
Well, the other ones are like very offhand, and I have a
Okay.
question. But anyway, I'll stop it, Becky. Just start. Okay, so the Sword of Truth is the villain banishing item, which is Prince Philip's sword from the movie. And the 3 fairies make an enchantment on it, and it results in immediate death in a single strike. And there's a little like the enchantment that they put on it at the end is Sword of Truth, fly swift and sure that evil die and good endure. So I just think that's really cute that it only can destroy villains. Just like
I actually love that. See, that's the kind of deep cut that I was struggling to find. I love that example.
nice. I also, this is very offhand, but I think it's hilarious that Ariel on human legs is voiceless. I just think that's so funny. And the little quote is just like dot, dot, dot. It's so funny.
That really like tickles me too. Cause like I played so much with the starter decks and like kept like playing her. And then I'd have like a friends on the other side and go to sing and be
It's like, no, not for her. Not for her. Also, I have so obviously, you know, Moana, Chosen by the Ocean, has that ability where she can take out Teika.
that sounds right to me.
Okay. So, which of course is, you know, a thing. I'm curious how often those two go toe to toe together, just in general. Like, ever? Has anyone ever done it?
Yeah. Tell us if you've ever done it. I've definitely watched a lot of set reviews on YouTube, and everyone's like, "No, that's it's basically a blank card."
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's so rarely would ever happen. And she's like decent. Not like anything spectacular unless you're versing Takeoff.
And Tikka is not like so good that like everyone's putting it in their deck. Like every time I open
Right.
one, I'm like, oh, another one.
Oh, I have none of them.
I keep opening the same cards over and over again. It's really weird.
Yeah, I've noticed I you know, just how things roll. I there's so many commons I don't have, but then like so many like rares and stuff I have a lot of, and I'm just like, what? Where is it? I don't get it.
Yeah, like I keep opening the Gantu legendary, but I not a single BLT. I can't believe Jesse got one. It's so unfair.
So Jesse's my brother-in-law. He is from my husband's family, so he's a collector and he's in it for the collection. And he got a couple starter decks. He's bought 2 booster packs on eBay for $10 a piece and got our Brave Little Tailor legendary. And it's just like, really? Great. Cool.
So happy for you.
Yeah, right.
Not at all jealous.
So I do have a question. This is such a tangent. I'm so sorry.
Love tangents.
Okay, so I was looking at the cards and I'm wondering if there is going to be like is it first edition? Is that a thing? Because the cards have like the, you know, number out of 204 and then EN, which I assume is English, and then 1, which I assumed was chapter 1, or is it edition? Like, will we know when they do the reprints?
I think it's chapter one, and Ravensburger has said they're not doing first edition because what happens is when you say first edition, everyone hoards the product, and
Right.
especially like Disney collectors. Like, they're no one's going to open it if you like do first edition.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering that because I know, like, even with Pokemon, still, like, that Charizard first edition is supposed to, it's still, like, huge. It was $700 last time I looked. It's probably more now, or it had varied. I don't know.
I have a tangent based off of your tangent.
Please.
Which is a lot of people are complaining about the boxes not being shrink wrapped and how you
Oh, yeah.
can actually finesse cards out of them without, or packs out of them without opening
And
it.
weigh them.
Yeah, and the weighing is bad, and the fact that you could potentially weigh an enchanted card, I don't know how practical that is. But I kind of like the fact that they're not shrink wrapped because then it's just another reason there's no reason to keep it like on your shelf because if you're like, hey, I have a never been open, completely sealed like box, people are going to be like, but do you?
But do you? That's actually a really good point that I had not thought of. But yeah, for sure. So look at this. All these decisions being made to try to encourage cards into the hands of players. I love it.
Mhm. Now, if they just print some more, we're going to be in such good shape.
I know. I feel like a month from now, I'm going to be like so happy and have so many beautiful cards. But for now, I'm not so happy about my card situation. Um, I'm about to tangent again. So let's move on to the next question and then we'll talk about it.
All right. And our third listener question is, this one's hard to say. Ziffication, do you know? X.
That's why we don't say them.
Becky, stop telling me I shouldn't do it and help me do it anyway.
Okay, show me it.
Can you see that?
Xification or xification, the same thing.
Yeah, tell us how wrong we are in our Discord. One question for y'all that might be good for the podcast is the matter of rotation. I don't know if Flesh and Blood has it, but Magic standard format has rotation. I've seen some speculation on whether there will be rotation for Lorcana or not. Becky, do you know what rotation is?
I see. Here's what I was going to look it up, but I figured it'd be helpful for you to explain it. But also, I wondered if you were interested in me guessing what it was.
Oh, please, yes.
Okay, so okay, cut it out if it sounds dumb. So I was thinking like, so we have our first chapter, and so when chapter 2 releases, maybe like chapters 1 and 2 are playable, and then when chapter 3 releases, like they cut out chapter 1, and like the most current cards are part of it.
You nailed it.
Ah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I don't, if we go off of like Magic standard rotation, it used to be 2 years. They just expanded it to 3. So I don't think it'll happen until chapter 9 at the earliest. Personally, because they said 4 sets. Did you know that 4 sets a year?
I didn't hear that, no, but that's interesting. So like every quarter.
Yeah, every quarter. So like December, we're going to be doing this all over again, getting product. Are you excited?
I am, especially with holiday shopping on top of it. It's going to be spicy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so do we think Lorcana is going to do some sort of, and just to be clear, this rotation is like, would be for a standard format, which is maybe a format you will see sometimes at your local events. You'll probably see it a lot at competitive events, but then they usually also do some extended format play where either at local events or event tournaments, they would have, I don't know, I think in Pokemon is literally just called as extended. Magic has like Legacy and Pioneer and Modern and like a million different formats where certain cards are legal.
Interesting. Because I do remember I have my Yu-Gi-Oh cards from middle school. And I remember like reading something a few years ago being like, oh, I can't like use those even if I wanted to. They're just here. And so yeah, I figured it out. I'm so smart. Does Flesh and Blood have one?
Not really. It's an eternal format, so your cards are always legal. Um, Flesh and Blood is a hero-based game where you play a hero and certain heroes can only play certain cards. So you may go through periods of time where there's no hero that can play your cards, but the idea is that they'll always bring back a hero to replace a circulated hero.
Okay, that makes sense. So in terms of, do I support a rotational format? Again, I'm not a game designer, but I am personally not a huge fan. I feel like the cards should always kind of be able to coexist together. I know that creates like a huge library of cards, and that can be overwhelming, but I really like the idea of being able to like keep them and keep using them forever.
That's totally fair. I mean, you get attached to the cards and you don't want to stop playing them.
Yeah.
You made a good point though. It does make it hard for the game designers when they're like 3 years down the road designing cards and be like, well, how does that play with this random card from set number 1? Does it create an infinite combo or something? And also, they do just like need a way to get you to buy more product. So they're like, hey,
honestly, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also, if people start playing a couple years from now and like these sets will be of the past and you still have to know them, which I think is a lot. So like I totally understand rotation, like why it's important and why we do it. But I will miss my little buddies. That's all.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you will have some format available to you to play those cards in. And anything goes at the kitchen table. Never forget that.
The most important of battlefronts.
Exactly. So we actually got through our listener questions. Oh my gosh.
Nailed it. Do we have a featured creator?
We do. Our creator of the week is LorcadiaTCG.
Oh, I love her. Sorry.
This is a YouTube account run by Hannah, who's actually pretty new to content creation. She only has 2 videos on her YouTube channel, but they're very nice to watch. It's kind of like opening a product with a friend. But beyond just doing a channel, Hannah's just like a super positive voice in the community. She's always out there commenting on people's stuff and offering encouraging words. She's part of what makes Lorcana Twitter like such a warm, welcoming space. So like, guys, do yourself a favor. Get off of Lorcana Facebook and go onto Lorcana Twitter. You're going to have a better time.
So be sure to follow LorcadiaTCG on YouTube and Twitter. He has stickers, holographic stickers with her thing on them. And I'm like, how do we get those? Hannah, let us know.
Next week, we are going to attempt to have our first guest on the podcast.
Woo!
It is Ryan. He runs the league we keep talking about and does an amazing job. So, like, if you have any questions for Ryan, we are going to be interviewing him on Wednesday. So any questions you have for him, send to us before Wednesday.
Yes. Any questions about Lorcana in general, running league, that kind of business?
Skincare?
No, stop it. Do you think he remembers that? We'll have to ask.
Are we ready for a send-off?
I think so.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. It's just this, but on YouTube. And also subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts.
And maybe hang out with us on Discord.
Yeah, whatever. Do what you want. No pressure.
Our Discord today was just like talking about deck boxes and Dairy Queen. So, I mean, if you're into that vibe, come hang out with us.
We love it.
So until next time,
remember to live, laugh, lore.